Factories across the world accelerate production when global tensions rise. Advanced military technology represents decades of engineering and billions of dollars in development. Modern warfare extends beyond land and sea into space and cyberspace. Behind every mission lies an enormous network of logistics and coordination. Global financial markets closely watch geopolitical developments. Industrial production remains one of the hidden engines behind modern conflicts. Understanding this system reveals the deeper structure behind modern warfare. Modern warfare depends on enormous global logistics. Advanced aircraft represent billions in engineering investment. Naval fleets protect global shipping routes and strategic waters. Drone technology has transformed modern battlefield intelligence. Modern battlefield intelligence. For most people, war appears as a distant battlefield. News channels show explosions, missiles, and military operations. Governments speak about national security and protection. But behind every war, another powerful system quietly moves. A system built on contracts, industries, and enormous financial flows. Modern wars do not only change borders, they also move billions of dollars through global defense networks. While soldiers prepare for conflict, corporations prepare for production. This hidden layer is rarely discussed in public conversations. War activates one of the largest logistical operations on Earth. Thousands of vehicles move weapons, fuel, and technology toward conflict zones. Supply chains stretch across continents and oceans. Factories begin operating day and night to meet new military demand. Governments approve emergency budgets worth billions of dollars. Defense companies immediately expand production lines. What the world sees as troop movement is only one part of the story. Behind the scenes, a vast economic engine begins to accelerate. The machines used in modern warfare represent extraordinary technological investment. Fighter jets, missile systems, and surveillance satellites cost enormous amounts of money. Behind every aircraft stands a network of factories and research centers. Engineers design new weapon systems years before conflicts even begin. Governments invest billions into defense development programs. When war starts, these programs suddenly become urgent national priorities. Production increases rapidly. The battlefield becomes the stage where advanced technology proves its value. Modern wars are not fought only with soldiers and weapons. Intelligence plays an equally powerful role in shaping conflict. Satellites orbit above the Earth, constantly observing movement. Surveillance systems scan oceans, deserts, and cities across the globe. Analysts sit inside highly secure facilities tracking information in real time. Data flows through digital networks connecting military command centers. Every piece of intelligence can influence billions of dollars in military decisions. Technology has turned war into a global monitoring system. Transport aircraft carry more than soldiers into conflict zones. They deliver entire mobile infrastructures designed for warfare. Inside these massive planes are vehicles, communication systems, medical units, and advanced weapon platforms. Every landing represents millions of dollars moving into operational use. The scale of military transportation alone reflects the economic magnitude of war. Fuel, maintenance, logistics, and equipment continuously circulate through the military supply chain. War transforms transportation networks into lifelines of global conflict. Naval power plays a central role in modern military strategy. Warships patrol international waters, protecting trade routes and strategic locations. These vessels carry missile systems capable of striking targets hundreds of miles away. Each destroyer represents billions of dollars in advanced engineering. Construction of such ships requires years of planning and enormous industrial capacity. Shipyards employ thousands of skilled workers building complex naval systems. The sea becomes both a battlefield and an industrial investment. Military bases function as operational hubs during wartime. Inside these secured areas, strategy transforms into action. Vehicles move constantly between hangars, storage facilities, and training fields. Helicopters transport units toward operational zones. Soldiers prepare equipment and coordinate missions with command teams. Every movement inside a base reflects a much larger system of funding and resources. Behind the operational activity stands a complex structure of defense budgets and corporate contracts. Far from the battlefield, factories work tirelessly to supply military operations. Assembly lines produce missiles, aircraft parts, and electronic systems. Engineers monitor machines building highly specialized components. Massive industrial halls operate continuously under strict security. Contracts signed during wartime drive these factories into peak production. For defense manufacturers, war creates a surge in demand. Governments invest enormous funds to accelerate weapons development. The industrial side of war remains largely invisible to the public. Financial markets react quickly when global conflict emerges. Defense companies often experience rapid growth during military escalation. Investors closely watch geopolitical events and government spending decisions. Stock prices fluctuate as military budgets expand. Some sectors of the economy benefit directly from prolonged conflicts. Corporate boardrooms analyze these developments carefully. War, while destructive on the battlefield, can generate financial opportunity within certain industries. As night falls over military bases, operations rarely stop. Aircraft prepare for missions under powerful runway lights. Technicians inspect engines and communication systems carefully. Pilots review final instructions before departure. War operates continuously across time zones and continents. Behind each mission stands a complex structure of technology, logistics, and funding. The deeper the conflict grows, the more powerful the war economy becomes, and this system continues expanding long before the world understands its full scale. Large military bases operate like self-contained cities during wartime. Vehicles move constantly between storage facilities and launch zones. Equipment is loaded, inspected, and prepared for rapid deployment. Helicopters move supplies between distant operational points. Each vehicle and machine requires maintenance, fuel, and logistical support. These operations generate enormous ongoing expenses. Behind the visible movement of soldiers stands a financial system designed to sustain constant military readiness. Air power represents one of the most expensive components of modern warfare. Advanced fighter aircraft require years of engineering development. Their systems combine radar technology, stealth design, and high-performance engines. Governments invest billions to maintain air superiority capabilities. Each aircraft represents an entire ecosystem of suppliers and contractors. From engine manufacturers to electronic specialists, countless companies contribute to a single jet. War dramatically increases the need for these advanced systems. Shipyards represent another critical pillar of the defense industry. Building a single warship requires thousands of specialized workers. Engineers design complex systems that integrate weapons, navigation, and defense technology. Massive cranes lift steel structures weighing hundreds of tons. The process can take years before the vessel becomes operational. During periods of conflict, shipbuilding programs accelerate dramatically. Governments authorize new contracts to expand naval fleets. Space technology now plays a vital role in modern military strategy. Satellites monitor troop movement, guide precision weapons, and secure communications. Without these systems, modern warfare would struggle to function effectively. Governments invest enormous funds into launching and maintaining satellite networks. Aerospace companies compete fiercely for these contracts. War increasingly depends on technology orbiting far above the battlefield. Space has quietly become another frontier of military investment. Drone technology has transformed the way modern conflicts are fought. These unmanned aircraft can observe and operate for hours without human pilots on board. Military commanders rely heavily on drones for surveillance and strategic operations. Their development required extensive research and technological investment. Today, entire divisions focus solely on drone warfare systems. Governments allocate billions toward improving their capabilities. For defense companies, drones represent one of the fastest growing sectors of the war industry. War requires enormous volumes of equipment to move across the world. Cargo ships carry armored vehicles, ammunition, fuel, and military hardware across oceans. Each shipment represents millions of dollars in defense resources. Ports become critical logistical hubs during wartime. Dock workers, transport crews, and naval escorts coordinate massive delivery operations. The scale of global military transportation reflects the industrial power behind modern warfare. Helicopters play a vital role in modern battlefield mobility. They move troops, deliver supplies, and provide aerial surveillance across difficult terrain. Each helicopter requires extensive maintenance, fuel, and advanced technology systems. Defense contractors build and upgrade these aircraft continuously. Wartime operations accelerate demand for new helicopters and spare parts. The result is another powerful economic stream flowing through the defense industry. Missile defense systems represent some of the most advanced technologies in modern warfare. Governments spend billions developing systems capable of intercepting incoming threats. These platforms combine radar, software algorithms, and precision guided weapons. Development programs often last decades before reaching operational readiness. Wartime tension increases demand for expanded missile defense infrastructure. This creates major opportunities for technology companies involved in defense innovation. While soldiers prepare on the battlefield, another kind of preparation happens inside corporate boardrooms. Defense contractors negotiate contracts worth billions of dollars. Financial analysts track government spending patterns carefully. Investors monitor geopolitical tensions that may influence military budgets. These decisions shape the future of defense industries. War can dramatically shift financial markets connected to military production. Military aviation represents one of the most technologically demanding sectors of defense spending. Aircraft require constant upgrades, training programs, and maintenance systems. Pilots undergo years of preparation before flying advanced combat jets. Governments allocate enormous funding to maintain air dominance. These investments drive continuous innovation in aerospace engineering. The aviation industry remains deeply connected to military conflict. Armored vehicles remain a central component of ground warfare. Tanks combine heavy armor, powerful engines, and advanced targeting systems. Building these machines requires enormous industrial capacity. Factories produce thousands of components before a single tank becomes operational. Wartime demand often increases production significantly. Defense industries rely on these programs to maintain manufacturing momentum. Training remains essential to preparing military forces for conflict. Large training exercises simulate real battlefield conditions. Soldiers learn coordination, communication, and tactical movement under pressure. Training programs require extensive resources and specialized equipment. Governments invest heavily in preparing forces before deployment. This preparation phase supports numerous industries supplying gear, vehicles, and training technologies. Modern warfare has expanded into cyberspace. Military cyber units defend national infrastructure and monitor digital threats. These operations require specialized experts and advanced computing systems. Governments invest billions into cyber defense capabilities. Technology companies develop software and hardware designed for digital warfare. Cyber conflict has become a major frontier of modern military strategy. Military operations rarely stop when the sun goes down. Nighttime often becomes the most active period for strategic missions. Floodlit runways prepare aircraft for deployment across distant regions. Technicians inspect engines and communication systems under intense pressure. Every mission represents months of preparation and enormous financial investment. War operates continuously through day and night. Behind every modern conflict stands a vast industrial network. Factories manufacture weapons, vehicles, electronics, and defense systems at enormous scale. Engineers and technicians work continuously to maintain production targets. Government contracts fuel these operations with massive financial resources. War becomes more than a battlefield event. It evolves into a powerful economic system supporting entire industries. Modern wars depend heavily on massive logistics networks. Supply bases operate like enormous warehouses of strategic equipment. Trucks transport ammunition, fuel, and technology across vast operational zones. Logistics teams coordinate deliveries with precise timing and efficiency. Without this constant flow of supplies, even the most advanced armies would struggle to function. Every delivery represents a significant financial investment. The scale of this operation reveals how deeply economics is embedded in modern warfare. Fuel is the lifeblood of modern military operations. Aircraft, ships, tanks, and vehicles rely on enormous fuel reserves to remain operational. Wartime dramatically increases global fuel demand. Governments secure supply routes and long-term energy contracts to sustain military readiness. Entire logistical strategies revolve around maintaining uninterrupted fuel flow. The energy industry becomes closely linked to the rhythm of war. Weapons testing represents a critical stage in military development. Engineers conduct complex evaluations to ensure systems perform under extreme conditions. Testing facilities simulate real battlefield environments for accurate results. Each successful test strengthens military capabilities while validating years of research investment. Governments allocate billions to support these programs. For defense industries, testing phases often lead to large production contracts. Satellite technology connects every branch of modern military operations. From navigation systems to communication networks, space-based assets guide forces on the ground and in the air. Military planners depend on these systems to maintain global awareness. Satellites provide surveillance, weather analysis, and targeting precision. Developing and maintaining these networks requires vast financial resources. Submarines represent some of the most strategic assets in naval warfare. These vessels move silently beneath the ocean's surface, carrying powerful defensive capabilities. Building a single submarine requires years of advanced engineering. Shipyards employ thousands of specialists to construct these highly complex machines. Their silent presence beneath the ocean contributes to global military balance. Convoys represent the movement of power across the battlefield. Armored vehicles carry troops, equipment, and strategic resources between operational zones. Each convoy requires careful planning and coordination. Military commanders calculate routes, timing, and security measures to protect these movements. Logistics, strategy, and technology combine in every convoy operation. Radar systems provide early warning against potential threats. These powerful sensors scan the skies and oceans for unusual activity. Operators monitor signals continuously from secure control centers. Radar technology has evolved into a critical component of national defense. Governments invest heavily in upgrading these detection systems. Factories supporting the defense sector operate under strict schedules during periods of conflict. Production lines accelerate to meet growing military demand. Trucks transport finished equipment toward air bases and naval ports. Every shipment contributes to the expanding logistics chain of warfare. These factories represent the industrial backbone of military operations. Inside command centers, strategic decisions shape the direction of military operations. Officers analyze intelligence reports and global developments. Digital maps reveal the movement of forces across continents. Every decision made inside these rooms carries enormous consequences. War planning requires coordination between military leaders, intelligence agencies, and government officials. As operations continue through the night, the full scale of the war machine becomes visible. Aircraft prepare for missions that will cross oceans and borders. Technicians finalize equipment checks while pilots review final instructions. Behind every launch stands an immense network of technology, industry, and financial power. War is never only about the battlefield. It is also about the systems that sustain conflict from behind the scenes. And those systems often reveal the hidden economic forces shaping global warfare. Far from the battlefield, another war begins inside corporate headquarters. Defense companies closely monitor global conflicts and political developments. When tensions rise between nations, military spending often increases rapidly. These increases trigger enormous contracts for companies producing weapons and defense technology. Executives analyze potential opportunities while governments discuss security strategies. The relationship between politics and defense industries becomes increasingly complex during times of war. This connection forms the foundation of what many analysts call the modern war economy. Defense factories operate with extraordinary precision and scale. Massive facilities manufacture aircraft engines, missile components, and advanced electronics. Engineers oversee complex production processes designed for maximum efficiency. Each completed system moves toward testing and deployment. Wartime demand often pushes factories to operate around the clock. Governments prioritize rapid production to maintain strategic advantage. The industrial side of warfare becomes a powerful engine of economic activity. Transport operations form the backbone of global military logistics. Cargo aircraft carry vehicles, communication systems, and strategic equipment across continents. These missions require complex coordination between multiple military units. Each transport flight represents an expensive logistical operation. Fuel costs, maintenance, and crew training contribute to the overall financial scale of modern warfare. The movement of equipment across borders reflects the global reach of military power. Air superiority remains a central objective for many military powers. Fighter aircraft patrol vast regions of airspace to maintain strategic control. These advanced machines require enormous financial investment from governments. Research programs continue for years to develop new generations of aircraft technology. Defense companies compete intensely for these lucrative contracts. Each new aircraft program can shape the future of entire aerospace industries. Naval fleets protect global shipping routes and strategic waterways. Warships patrol oceans carrying powerful defensive systems. Maintaining these fleets requires enormous financial resources. Shipbuilding programs often span decades of development and construction. Thousands of workers contribute to each vessel produced. These programs represent long-term investments that shape national defense strategies. Drone warfare has introduced a new dimension to modern conflict. These unmanned aircraft provide surveillance and operational capabilities across vast distances. Military commanders rely heavily on real-time drone intelligence. Technology companies continue to develop more advanced systems. Research funding increases rapidly during periods of conflict. Drones represent one of the fastest-growing sectors within the defense industry. Training exercises simulate real battlefield conditions for military forces. Soldiers practice coordination and tactical movement under controlled scenarios. These exercises require sophisticated equipment and specialized instructors. Training facilities operate continuously to maintain readiness. Governments allocate significant resources to prepare forces for deployment. Preparation becomes an essential component of modern military strategy. Cyber warfare has emerged as a critical battlefield in modern conflicts. Military cyber units defend national infrastructure from digital threats. Sophisticated software systems detect potential attacks in real time. Governments invest billions into cyber defense research programs. Technology companies collaborate closely with military agencies. Cyber capabilities now represent an essential layer of national security. Defense spending often rises dramatically during periods of geopolitical tension. Governments approve large budgets to support military expansion. Defense contractors compete for these highly valuable agreements. Financial markets monitor these developments closely. Investors analyze how conflict influences industrial growth. The intersection between military strategy and financial opportunity becomes increasingly visible. As darkness covers the airbase, preparations continue for new missions. Aircraft engines roar to life under bright runway lights. Technicians finalize equipment checks while pilots prepare for departure. Military operations move continuously through day and night. Behind each mission lies a vast network of technology, funding, and logistics. The scale of modern warfare extends far beyond the battlefield itself. The aerospace sector becomes one of the largest beneficiaries during periods of military expansion. Factories producing aircraft components accelerate production schedules rapidly. Engineers supervise complex assembly lines that manufacture engines, avionics, and structural systems. Each component represents years of research and millions in development costs. Governments often prioritize aerospace programs during global tensions. As a result, entire industrial regions experience rapid economic growth tied directly to defense spending. Missile development programs remain central to modern strategic defense planning. Testing ranges allow engineers to measure precision, reliability, and performance. Each test generates valuable data for improving future systems. Governments allocate enormous funding to ensure technological superiority. These programs often extend for decades, involving thousands of scientists and engineers. Wartime pressure accelerates development timelines dramatically. Shipbuilding is one of the most labor-intensive sectors of the defense industry. Naval shipyards operate with thousands of specialized workers and engineers. Each warship requires advanced systems including radar, propulsion, and weapons platforms. Construction can take years before a vessel becomes operational. During global tensions, governments often authorize additional naval programs. These projects inject billions of dollars into maritime industrial sectors. Space-based systems now play an essential role in military communication and surveillance. Satellites enable navigation, intelligence gathering, and encrypted communications. Launching these systems requires highly sophisticated aerospace infrastructure. Governments partner with private aerospace companies to expand orbital capabilities. Each satellite program represents billions of dollars in investment. Space has become a crucial strategic frontier. Armored vehicle programs remain vital for ground force mobility and protection. Tanks and armored carriers combine heavy armor with advanced targeting systems. Production of these vehicles requires complex supply chains involving steel manufacturing and electronics. Defense contracts supporting armored programs provide stable employment for thousands of workers. Wartime conditions often increase orders for replacement and upgraded vehicles. Energy infrastructure forms a critical foundation of military capability. Fuel depots store enormous reserves required for aircraft, ships, and armored vehicles. Supply routes ensure continuous energy delivery across operational zones. Wartime demand increases the strategic importance of energy logistics. Governments work closely with energy providers to secure reliable supplies. Helicopters provide flexible mobility across challenging environments. They transport troops, medical units, and equipment to remote locations. Their versatility makes them indispensable during military operations. Maintaining helicopter fleets requires continuous technical support and spare parts production. Defense manufacturers receive long-term service contracts to maintain operational readiness. Cyber warfare has become one of the fastest-growing areas of military investment. Nations protect digital infrastructure from potential attacks. Cyber units monitor global networks for suspicious activity. Governments fund research programs developing advanced defensive algorithms. Technology companies collaborate with military agencies to strengthen cyber resilience. Financial markets react quickly to geopolitical developments. Defense company stocks often rise when military spending increases. Investors analyze political tensions as potential indicators of industrial growth. Government defense budgets influence corporate earnings forecasts. The economic ripple effects of war extend far beyond the battlefield. Strategic airlift capability allows military forces to deploy equipment rapidly across the world. Transport aircraft carry vehicles, supplies, and humanitarian resources. Each mission requires careful coordination and logistical planning. Governments invest heavily in maintaining these fleets. Strategic mobility ensures rapid response to emerging global crises. Naval destroyers form a powerful defensive shield for maritime operations. These vessels combine radar detection systems with advanced missile platforms. Maintaining such ships requires long-term shipyard support and specialized crews. Naval fleets protect shipping lanes and strategic maritime routes. Their presence represents a significant investment in global security infrastructure. Military training ensures that personnel remain prepared for complex operational scenarios. Exercises simulate battlefield conditions under controlled environments. These programs require specialized equipment and facilities. Governments allocate significant funding to maintain continuous readiness. Research laboratories drive innovation within the defense sector. Scientists develop advanced technologies designed to improve operational efficiency and security. Government grants support experimental programs exploring new possibilities. Many innovations later influence civilian technologies as well. Convoys represent the lifeline connecting operational bases with supply centers. Moving equipment across difficult terrain requires coordination and protection. Military planners design secure routes for these missions. Logistics operations continue around the clock to maintain supply flow. Military bases remain active long after sunset. Night operations prepare forces for missions across multiple time zones. Technicians ensure aircraft remain fully operational. Command teams coordinate logistics and intelligence updates. The war machine rarely sleeps. Defense manufacturing plants form the industrial heart of the war economy. These facilities produce aircraft components, missile systems, and communication technologies. Engineers and technicians supervise highly advanced machinery operating day and night. Each piece of equipment manufactured inside these factories represents years of research and development. Wartime demand accelerates production schedules dramatically. Governments sign long-term contracts worth billions to sustain this industrial network. Energy remains one of the most critical elements supporting military operations. Fuel depots store enormous reserves required to power aircraft, ships, and armored vehicles. Logistics teams coordinate complex distribution systems to maintain constant supply. Without reliable fuel access, even the most powerful military forces would struggle to operate. The energy sector therefore becomes deeply connected to military readiness. Wartime demand can reshape global energy strategies and supply chains. Satellites form the invisible infrastructure of modern military operations. They enable secure communication between command centers and deployed units across the globe. Navigation systems guide aircraft, ships, and ground forces with precise accuracy. Intelligence satellites observe movement across oceans and borders. Governments invest enormous resources into expanding these orbital networks. Space has quietly become one of the most strategic domains in modern warfare. Financial markets respond quickly to rising geopolitical tension. Defense companies often experience increased investor interest during periods of conflict. Analysts study military budgets and government policies carefully. Stock prices can rise as demand for defense technology expands. Investors recognize how global tensions influence industrial growth. The economic dimension of war extends far beyond military planning. Strategic airlift capabilities allow military forces to move resources rapidly across continents. Transport aircraft carry vehicles, medical units, and communication systems to operational zones. Each flight requires precise coordination between logistics teams and command centers. Governments invest heavily in maintaining these fleets. Strategic mobility ensures rapid response during global crises. Naval forces maintain security across international waters and vital shipping routes. Destroyers and cruisers carry advanced missile defense systems capable of protecting entire fleets. These vessels require constant maintenance and technological upgrades. Shipbuilding programs represent enormous long-term investments. Maritime defense remains essential to maintaining global trade stability. Cyber warfare now represents a powerful new battlefield. Military cyber units defend national infrastructure against digital attacks. Analysts monitor global networks searching for unusual activity. Governments fund advanced cybersecurity programs to strengthen digital defenses. Technology companies collaborate closely with defense agencies. The digital dimension of conflict continues expanding rapidly. Research laboratories remain at the center of defense innovation. Scientists develop new systems designed to improve strategic capabilities. Government research funding drives technological breakthroughs. Many innovations later influence civilian industries. Military research therefore contributes to both security and technological progress. Convoys remain essential for transporting supplies across challenging terrain. Armored vehicles protect valuable cargo moving toward operational bases. Military planners calculate routes carefully to minimize risk. Logistics teams ensure supplies reach their destinations safely. Every convoy operation reflects the complexity of wartime transportation networks. As the night deepens, the full machinery of modern warfare becomes visible. Aircraft prepare for missions that will cross borders and oceans. Technicians finalize systems, while command teams monitor global developments. Behind every mission lies a vast structure of industry, technology, and financial investment. The war economy continues expanding, shaping industries and strategies across the world. And the deeper the conflict grows, the more powerful this system becomes. Wars rarely begin only on the battlefield. Their origins often emerge within political discussions and financial planning. Inside corporate towers and government offices, decisions are made that shape global military strategy. These decisions influence defense spending, industrial contracts, and technological investment. The connection between economic interests and geopolitical tension has existed for decades. Understanding this relationship reveals a deeper layer of modern warfare. Inside government institutions, military budgets are debated and approved. Leaders analyze intelligence reports and international developments. Advisors present strategic recommendations based on global risk assessments. These discussions often involve complex economic considerations. Defense spending decisions can reshape entire industries. The financial scale of modern military programs reaches hundreds of billions of dollars. Advanced surveillance technologies now monitor vast areas of the planet. Drones provide real-time intelligence for military commanders. These unmanned systems allow continuous observation without risking pilots. Governments invest heavily in developing more advanced drone capabilities. Surveillance technology has become one of the fastest-growing sectors within defense research. Air power remains a symbol of military dominance. Fighter aircraft represent decades of aerospace engineering and technological innovation. Nations compete to maintain the most advanced air fleets. These programs require massive research budgets and industrial collaboration. Each aircraft represents a complex network of suppliers and contractors. Naval forces project military power across distant regions of the world. Aircraft carriers function as mobile bases capable of supporting air operations far from land. Maintaining these fleets requires enormous economic resources. Shipbuilding programs employ thousands of workers and engineers. Defense factories transform military budgets into physical technology. Production lines manufacture advanced systems designed for modern warfare. Engineers supervise machines assembling highly specialized components. These factories operate under strict security and efficiency standards. Wartime demand often pushes production facilities into continuous operation. Logistics networks support the movement of military equipment across vast distances. Convoys transport supplies between operational bases and forward positions. Each mission requires careful route planning and security coordination. Without reliable logistics systems, modern military operations would collapse quickly. Cyber warfare has expanded the battlefield into the digital world. Military cyber units defend infrastructure and communication networks from potential threats. Governments invest billions into cyber defense programs. Technology companies collaborate with defense agencies to develop advanced security systems. Financial markets carefully monitor geopolitical developments. Defense company stocks often respond quickly to rising global tensions. Investors analyze how military spending may influence corporate earnings. The economic ripple effects of war extend into financial systems across the world. As aircraft launch into the darkness, the scale of modern warfare becomes visible. Military operations continue across continents and oceans. Behind each mission stands a vast network of technology, industry, and financial investment. The war system operates continuously, shaping global strategy and economic power. Large logistics hubs act as the central arteries of modern military operations. Equipment arrives from factories and moves toward operational bases across the world. Logistics teams coordinate shipments with extreme precision. Every crate, vehicle, and container represents valuable military resources. The movement of these supplies reflects the enormous scale of the global defense system. Helicopters provide flexible transportation for troops and supplies in difficult terrain. Their ability to land in remote areas makes them essential for rapid deployment missions. Each helicopter fleet requires extensive maintenance and technical support. Defense manufacturers supply spare parts and upgrade systems to maintain operational readiness. Radar networks provide early warning against potential threats approaching national borders. These powerful detection systems monitor aircraft and missile activity across large regions. Technicians analyze signals constantly from secure control rooms. Governments continue expanding radar networks to strengthen defensive capabilities. Space-based technology now supports nearly every aspect of modern warfare. Satellites guide navigation systems, enable encrypted communication, and provide global surveillance. Launching these systems requires advanced aerospace engineering and enormous financial investment. Governments partner with private companies to expand orbital defense infrastructure. Armored vehicles continue to play a vital role in ground operations. Tanks combine heavy armor with advanced targeting systems designed for battlefield dominance. Manufacturing these machines requires complex industrial supply chains. Defense contracts supporting armored programs sustain thousands of jobs across manufacturing sectors. Fuel infrastructure powers the mobility of modern military forces. Aircraft, ships, and armored vehicles depend on enormous energy supplies. Logistics planners coordinate global fuel distribution networks to maintain operational readiness. Energy resources therefore become closely connected with military strategy. Advanced fighter aircraft represent the pinnacle of aerospace technology. Nations compete to develop the fastest and most capable air fleets. These programs require decades of engineering innovation and enormous research funding. Each aircraft produced reflects a vast network of industrial collaboration. Research laboratories drive innovation across the defense industry. Scientists explore new technologies designed to improve national security capabilities. Government funding supports experimental research in robotics, sensors, and advanced materials. These innovations often influence both military and civilian technologies. Cyber warfare has become a critical battlefield in the modern era. Military cyber units defend digital infrastructure from sophisticated threats. Governments invest billions into cybersecurity research and development. Technology companies collaborate with defense agencies to protect critical systems. Financial markets remain closely connected to global geopolitical developments. Rising tensions often influence defense company valuations. Investors analyze military spending trends and government budgets. These economic signals reveal how war influences financial systems across the world. Strategic airlift capability allows rapid deployment of resources to distant regions. Transport aircraft carry vehicles, humanitarian supplies, and communication systems. These missions require detailed coordination between multiple military units. Governments invest heavily in maintaining transport fleets. Naval destroyers protect vital shipping lanes and maritime borders. These ships combine radar systems with advanced missile platforms. Maintaining naval fleets requires enormous long-term investment. Shipyards continuously upgrade vessels with modern technology. Training exercises simulate the complexity of real combat environments. Soldiers practice coordination and tactical decision-making under pressure. These programs ensure forces remain prepared for rapid deployment. Governments allocate significant resources to maintain continuous readiness. Factories supporting the defense sector operate under strict production schedules. Equipment produced inside these facilities supports military forces around the world. Wartime demand increases manufacturing output dramatically. Industrial production becomes a core component of the war economy. Convoys carry essential supplies across long and often dangerous routes. Logistics teams coordinate these movements with detailed planning and security measures. Without these supply missions, operational bases would quickly lose critical resources. Military bases remain active throughout the night. Technicians perform maintenance while pilots prepare for upcoming missions. Every aircraft and vehicle represents a significant investment of technology and resources. The war system operates continuously without pause. Digital defense networks monitor global cyber activity around the clock. Analysts analyze threats that could disrupt communication infrastructure. Cyber warfare now plays a crucial role in national defense strategies. Satellite networks support navigation, communication, and surveillance for military operations worldwide. Maintaining these systems requires advanced space technology and constant monitoring. Economic analysts observe how geopolitical tensions influence global markets. Defense sector growth often reflects increased government spending during conflicts. Aircraft carriers extend military reach far beyond national borders. These floating bases allow aircraft to operate across vast oceans. Behind every modern conflict stands a powerful industrial network. Factories across multiple countries produce advanced military systems and components. Engineers and technicians supervise complex machines designed for precision manufacturing. These production lines operate continuously when global tensions rise. Governments authorize massive contracts to sustain this industrial output. War, therefore, becomes closely connected to industrial growth. Convoys transport essential equipment between strategic locations. These vehicles carry supplies required to maintain operational readiness. Logistics planners coordinate routes and schedules carefully. Every convoy mission represents an important link in the global military supply chain. Without these movements, operational bases would quickly run out of critical resources. Economic systems respond rapidly to changes in global security conditions. Defense sector growth often reflects increased government spending. Investors and analysts monitor geopolitical developments closely. The relationship between global conflict and financial markets has grown stronger over time. These economic patterns reveal another dimension of modern warfare. Aircraft carriers extend military reach across vast regions of the world. These floating bases allow aircraft to operate far from land. Maintaining carrier fleets requires enormous financial and technological investment. Thousands of specialists contribute to the operation of each vessel. Naval power therefore represents both strategic capability and industrial strength. As aircraft prepare for another mission, the full scale of the war system becomes clear. Military technology, industrial production, and financial networks operate together in a powerful global structure. What began as national defense has evolved into a complex international system of strategy and economics. The deeper this system grows, the more difficult it becomes to separate war from the industries that support it. As the world wakes each morning, global systems continue moving beneath the surface of everyday life. Governments analyze international developments, while corporations study economic signals. The machinery of global power does not rest. Decisions made inside boardrooms and government halls influence military planning across continents. These connections reveal how modern conflicts extend far beyond battlefields. Strategic decisions guiding military policy often begin in quiet meeting rooms. Leaders evaluate intelligence reports and geopolitical developments. Advisors present scenarios that could influence future security conditions. These conversations determine national budgets and defense priorities. Military planning therefore reflects both political strategy and economic capability. Space technology now supports nearly every modern military operation. Satellites guide navigation, communication, and surveillance across the planet. Without these systems, global coordination would become extremely difficult. Governments invest billions into maintaining orbital infrastructure. Space has quietly become one of the most strategic arenas of modern defense. Advanced aircraft represent the technological peak of modern military capability. Engineers design these machines with extraordinary precision. Each jet contains thousands of specialized components produced across multiple industries. Governments invest enormous funding to maintain competitive air forces. Air superiority remains a central objective for many nations. Naval fleets project military presence across distant regions. Aircraft carriers function as floating command centers capable of launching air missions across vast distances. Maintaining these vessels requires immense industrial capacity and skilled personnel. Shipyards, research laboratories, and defense companies collaborate to support naval power. Factories transform government defense budgets into physical technology. Inside these facilities, machines assemble systems designed for modern warfare. Engineers supervise production lines, ensuring precision and reliability. Wartime demand often accelerates industrial activity dramatically. The industrial sector becomes deeply connected to national defense strategy. Convoys transport essential equipment across vast operational territories. These vehicles deliver supplies required to maintain military readiness. Logistics teams plan routes carefully to protect valuable cargo. The movement of supplies across continents reveals the enormous scale of modern military logistics. Cyber warfare has introduced a new dimension to global security. Analysts monitor digital networks for potential threats targeting national infrastructure. Governments invest heavily in cyber defense technologies. These digital battlefields operate silently but influence global stability. Financial markets often respond quickly to global security developments. Defense companies may experience growth when military spending increases. Investors analyze geopolitical signals carefully. These patterns reveal the complex relationship between economic systems and global conflict. As aircraft prepare for departure into the night sky, the vast scale of the global defense system becomes visible. Military technology, industrial production, and economic forces operate together in a powerful network. This system shapes how nations prepare for conflict and security. Understanding these connections reveals the deeper structure behind modern warfare. Behind many global military programs stand powerful corporate organizations. These companies design, manufacture, and maintain the technologies used by modern armed forces. Government defense contracts often involve billions of dollars and long-term industrial cooperation. Executives and policy advisors regularly analyze geopolitical developments that influence future defense spending. Industrial production facilities transform research into operational technology. Inside these large factories, machines produce complex systems designed for national defense. Engineers supervise each stage of the manufacturing process. Precision and reliability remain critical priorities for these programs. Strategic transport aircraft allow military resources to move rapidly across continents. Vehicles, equipment, and humanitarian supplies travel thousands of miles within hours. These missions demonstrate the global reach of modern military logistics. Advanced aircraft represent decades of engineering development and technological innovation. Nations compete to maintain capable air fleets. Each aircraft produced reflects collaboration between engineers, manufacturers, and defense agencies. Naval fleets protect maritime routes and extend military presence across distant waters. Aircraft carriers function as floating bases capable of supporting complex operations. Maintaining these vessels requires extensive industrial and logistical support. Factories transform defense budgets into tangible technology. Engineers oversee automated systems that assemble sophisticated equipment. Production lines operate under strict standards to ensure reliability. Convoys transport critical supplies across large operational territories. These missions require careful coordination and security planning. Logistics networks ensure that military units receive essential resources. Satellite networks connect military forces operating around the world. These systems support navigation, communication, and surveillance. Maintaining these capabilities requires advanced technology and continuous monitoring. Cybersecurity has become an essential component of modern defense strategies. Analysts monitor networks for potential threats targeting communication systems and infrastructure. Financial markets observe geopolitical developments closely. Changes in global security conditions often influence investment patterns. Defense industries play a major role within these economic systems. Training exercises simulate operational conditions for military personnel. These programs ensure that forces remain prepared for complex missions. Radar systems provide early detection of potential threats approaching national borders. Operators monitor signals continuously to maintain situational awareness. Research laboratories remain the foundation of technological innovation. Scientists explore new materials and systems designed to strengthen defense capabilities. Fuel infrastructure powers aircraft, ships, and ground vehicles. Logistics planners coordinate energy supply networks to maintain operational readiness. Military bases remain active throughout the night as preparations continue for future missions. Maintenance teams ensure equipment remains operational. Financial centers around the world respond to global events with remarkable speed. Investors and analysts constantly evaluate political developments that may influence markets. Defense industries often experience growth during periods of rising geopolitical tension. These economic reactions reveal how global conflict affects financial systems far from the battlefield. Industrial production continues even as conflicts unfold across distant regions. Factories manufacture equipment designed for military and technological applications. Workers and engineers maintain strict schedules to meet production goals. These facilities represent a major component of the modern defense economy. Strategic transport aircraft allow rapid movement of equipment across global distances. These flights support both military and humanitarian missions. Logistics networks coordinate carefully timed operations that connect bases across continents. Strategic mobility remains a critical capability in modern security planning. Advanced aircraft represent extraordinary achievements of aerospace engineering. These machines combine complex systems designed for precision and performance. Engineers continue improving aircraft capabilities through research and innovation. Air power remains a central element of modern defense strategies. Naval fleets protect maritime routes that support global trade and transportation. Aircraft carriers operate as floating air bases capable of supporting complex operations. These vessels require extensive technical support and maintenance. Shipyards and defense companies collaborate to sustain naval capabilities. Convoys deliver supplies that maintain operational readiness across distant bases. Logistics teams coordinate routes and schedules to protect valuable equipment. These movements demonstrate the complex infrastructure supporting modern military systems. Cyber defense systems protect digital infrastructure supporting communication and security networks. Analysts monitor potential threats that may disrupt critical services. Cybersecurity has become a major focus of national defense programs. Satellite networks connect global communication systems, supporting navigation and intelligence gathering. Maintaining these systems requires advanced engineering and international cooperation. Space technology has become essential to modern security infrastructure. Night operations highlight the continuous nature of modern military activity. Technicians and pilots prepare equipment for upcoming missions. Maintenance teams ensure systems remain reliable under demanding conditions. These operations demonstrate the enormous scale of modern defense infrastructure. As the sun rises over the horizon, the complex systems that shape global security continue their silent operation. Military technology, industry, economics, and politics remain deeply interconnected. Understanding these relationships allows societies to better understand the forces influencing the modern world. The future will depend on how wisely humanity manages these powerful systems of security and cooperation.